It is the Matt Mosley Show, and with Scott Drew joining us now. Scott, still, even as we get ready for tonight's game, this is cool, Scott. Like, as people are watching this right now, you're getting ready to play Iowa State, the number 3 team in the country. Should be a packed gymnasium tonight. I notice you're having a little coffee. You're still how many on game day do you go extra cups of coffee? What do you do do you
actually that's raw on game day. so usually just 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon.
Oh man, I need to do that. I kind of have it throughout the day, and I need to kind of cut back on that a little bit.
Hey, Mosley, there's enough studies you can find. It's great for you.
Oh, I know.
6 to 8 cups. You look hard enough, you'll find the answer you need.
You think people have Googled like what wine does for their heart? I heard that one. Wine really helps the heart. I'm thinking, I don't think it probably helps that much. But you can.
Well, the Italians definitely think so in Tuscany and those wine countries, and
they live longer and they drink more, but they also walk everywhere. Have you noticed that they don't? Yeah, I think
they leave that out of the study.
And I think olive oil is probably good as well. Well, I haven't gotten to talk to you, and so you're probably have talked more than you ever thought you would on this James Najee. We knew you were going to make a mid-season pickup. You had been alluding to this for a while. We just didn't know it was going to be this huge of a story. And you've gotten all kinds of feedback. It's been interesting. I have to ask, James now has been around for a couple of weeks. He's now got a couple of practices. I actually thought he impacted the game. And for a guy that, like you said, had been out of play for 6 months and really probably didn't have his basketball conditioning up to speed, I thought he did impact the game and helped you the other day. You always knew, no matter who you brought in, there would be a ramp-up time. Tell me, over these last couple of weeks since he's been in town, what has surprised you about him? Is there anything about him that, hey, he's better than I thought? Or what has grabbed your attention the most about James? And is he showing you signs in practice to even think that, hey, we can continue to ramp him up even more than what you saw against TCU, where he gave you 16 minutes the other day?
Well, first and foremost, that's a great question, and appreciate you asking it, because when he came over, I really didn't know what to expect from the standpoint. Last time he had played was 7 months ago. He was recovering from injury. The 7'7" wingspan is still real. 7 foot 250 is real. But just how long would it take him to get acclimated? And, coaches, part of coaching that's so fun is bringing teams together. And this is something we've never done. I had someone at the semester that hadn't been around to then join in and play. What surprised me was just how excited he was about being in college in the U.S., how it impacted him with his mom's excitement for him to have a chance to get a degree. He's a great young man. Played piano in the church, sister sang in the church, brother played drums in the church, mom worked with the ministry team, another brother, mechanical engineer, another or sister wants to get a master's degree. I mean, value and want education, appreciate the opportunity to be in college, and just the excitement of it all. That kind of took me back, to be honest, from the standpoint, you would think someone coming in, normally what college coaches hear is, I want to get to the NBA as quick as I can. All I heard was, I want to get a degree. Now he wants to get to the NBA, but that was awesome. And his excitement to be here was awesome. As far as, I know we say weeks, but I think his first practice was the 30th or 31st. So he's only had a week or so of practice, probably 4 or 5 practices. And the easiest thing I can equate it to is, I know you used to bike a lot. If you biked 100 miles, how long would it take you to prep to get ready for 100 miles. And if you turned around and tried to do 50 the first day, probably too sore to do much the next couple days. If you do 1 mile, you're trying to get to 100. That's probably not enough. So we're trying to thread that fine line of teaching him an offense, teaching him a defense, getting him in shape and getting him ready to play. Because most people, when they come in semester, they just redshirt and spend that time adjusting, adapting. We didn't have that a luxury from the standpoint, being down to 7 players. We wanted to bring someone in who could play right away. Obviously, the upside when he gets caught up and acclimated is very high. At the same time, the process is doubly hard for him, coming off of 7 months of rehab and not playing. 5-on-5.
Yeah. Have you asked him whether he prefers the old school hymns, the hymnal, or like praise and worship like they do out at Woodway and other places, Harris Creek? Which way do you think he leans on his piano playing?
Well, all I know is he's got to be really good because they had church 4 or 5 times a week, he said.
That's a little much.
He had to go there to pray for you, Mosley.
that would take time. And your cycling analogy, you know how that ended for me. So I know. It brought me back to tennis is how well it went. Yeah. What from the other day, I know you took some positives, certainly some negatives. I know I've been around you long enough to know that, you did not like how well TCU did on the offensive boards.
Yeah.
And I know the drills you use. How much did you, obviously this, you don't want to panic this early it's one game in the conference season, but at the same time, you don't want any trend. You got to get their attention on a defensive rebounding. What, since that game, what have you done to kind of get their attention on that end of things?
I think sometimes, and I think parents all know this, you can tell your child, don't put your hand on the stove, it's hot. But if they put it on the stove one time and they feel that pain, hopefully that teaches them. And my point to that being our defensive rebounding hadn't been great all year. And the best way to improve it is sometimes the painful memories of not executing or doing what's needed. What I got to remind myself sometimes, and Mosley, you're a great sports guy. You understand this. 0 guys on our team have played in a Big 12 game. 0 guys have played in a road game. 0 played in a Big 12 rivalry road game. And we all know in the Big 12, coaching is elite. Players are outstanding. Atmospheres are tough to compete in. And then you add a player and say, hey, by the way, let's see what you got. He did a great job. He was the only one that had a plus minus that was a plus on our team. But at the same time, I know the challenges we have right now. The good news is losses teach you more in a quicker fashion than wins do. Hate losing. If you ever enjoy it, you got to get out of the sport or any sport. But at the same time, I know we improve from that. How long it takes to get over the hump and start winning Big 12 games. We've only played 1. We will see. And we got a great opportunity this week. That's what you love about the Big 12. There's no bad losses. There's just good win opportunities.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you put it that way because you're kind of like me. I mean, they all feel bad, but you're right. At the end of the year, when you're weighing them, you have a chance in this conference to have so many great matchups that it can put you back where you need to be. By the way, do we get the jersey all figured out? I was for Najee. We have him a nice the correct spelling and the new jersey. Is that all we've seen about?
We're still working with Nike on that. I appreciated the one you sent that said Mosley. He said it was a little small on him, so he's not going to use it. But yeah. Yeah,
that's right. That would be, although the Mosley jersey is pretty pretty large these days. Okay, we just came through the holidays, so I need a little room to roam.
Yours isn't the only one.
Okay, I had a little rough go, and I escaped to the slopes for a few days. You know, I do that from time to time. Okay, your offense has been so good for so long, and we do give the other team credit, but you know, I even the guys from TNT were commenting on the other day. You guys weren't getting into your offense as quick as you needed to, and part of that was TCU. Now you look at that tape and you go, okay, what can we do better to get into the offense and get things moving? What did you see from your offense? Because a lot of times you'll go, hey, we got good shots, but we just didn't make them. In this game, they kind of took you out of some things. I'm not saying you didn't get some good shots, but they certainly dictated some of things, and so you'll have to now respond to that. What was your takeaway on how to get that offense clicking like it needs to be?
Well, if we had good looks, then you'd feel better. TCU, like you said, deserves a lot of credit because they took us out of a lot of stuff, and we didn't execute like we needed to. At the same time, there were a lot of things that we could have controlled that we didn't, and I think we played like we were a step slow and a step behind the whole game. And again, always credit the opponent on forcing some of that. But hopefully, as a coach, you just want to control what you can control, and you want your guys you want to hold them accountable to those things. At the end of the day, shot goes up. If you get a good shot, you can't guarantee it's going in or not. But what can you guarantee? And I think the effort and the execution, the mental mistakes was way higher than we have to be successful. So hopefully we learn from that. We'll find out. Again, TCU's defense, top 15 in the country. They held Michigan to 13 points with 7 minutes to go in the first half. It was a one-possession game. They had a chance to take the lead in the last minute or so. My point is TCU's a really good team. They deserve a lot of credit. They made us look bad. We didn't rise to the occasion and do some of the things we needed to do. We'll be better from it. And the good thing is each and every night in the Big 12. And what I meant by no bad losses is you're at the end of the day, the committee looks at it, and sometimes you play in a conference where you lose one game. Basically, that takes you out of contention for an automatic at-large bid. And in our league, that's not the case. So a lot of opportunities for good wins.
What did you see from your high ball screen offense? And I got to say, Najee certainly was rolling. I mean, he knew there's some things that innately, and I'm sure y'all worked with him quickly. There were some looks to him that we've seen from some of your bigs over the years. And I got to say, Caden Powell, we don't want him to get lost in the shuffle here. He does some good interior passing. Like there's some really nice things that he can do. And if you can get him going, you know, it goes from a weakness to a strength. But I guess I'm wondering is you're not getting the paint touches you need right now. Part of that is your point guard play. It's not quite where it needs to be. You have talented wings. Is there a way maybe to get those guys, set them up a little better and let those guys kind of initiate the offense maybe from the wing to a certain extent?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for us is we didn't get any transition points. I believe we had 6 live ball turnovers and scored 1 time, and might be off 1 or 2 because we're on Iowa State. But my point is those easies keep you going. It's kind of like a road trip. Stopping at Buc-ee's, filling up, getting some snacks, that gets you the whole way there. We never had a chance to fill up. We never got any easy buckets. We never got any momentum. And that leaves you everything in the half court, and our half court execution wasn't as good as it needed to be. As far as a lot of our offense is initiated through the wings and the forwards. In fact, every time there's a high ball screen, they put 2 on the ball, usually the big's in charge. So again, we went in the game the fifth best offense in the country. We didn't leave the fifth best offense in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get better. We got to improve. A lot of that is adjusting to Big 12 play, night in, night out. It's like moving up a weight class in boxing. It sometimes just takes a bigger, stronger, faster. You adapt to it, but you got to go through it.
Do you think you could get one of your players to do like one of those double blocks like VJ did to kind of get the crowd going early in the game? I mean, you don't see that too often, do you? You block it at one point and then you block it again.
Yeah. That's why you see it in the NBA. We are really blessed though with some great athletes this year. I mean, Cam, Tunde, Dan, Isaac. I mean, Obi can throw down. We got some dunkers, man. We got to get out in transition. We got to get stops. We got to get easies to showcase some of that.
Was that I was just trying to remember on the national title team. I mean, obviously they played like crazy level of defense, but did y'all score a ton in transition? Like I'm just trying to think about Davion and Jared and everybody. Of course, we compare everything to your greatest team ever, but over the years, I'm just wondering, like, what were your best transition teams?
Probably the teams that won the most, because usually what happens to get in transition, normally you have to get stops or you have to cause turnovers. And if you can get stops, cause turnovers, normally transition is the easiest way to score. It all kind of works together. And the more transition buckets, because it's very hard to score in transition after a made basket, because coaches do a pretty good job making sure defenses sprint back and get lined up. And if not, you get subbed out to make sure you understand it.
I was trying to remember those 10 dunks AC had against UT, if those were mostly off of transition buckets. I was just trying to...
His was the exception to the rule.
What about the by the way, the Buckies got my attention. Are you the people from Indiana, do they like jerky as much as we do, like beef jerky or venison sticks and all that kind of stuff, or what are y'all into?
Well, I love jerky. It's healthy for you. Strength coaches always keep it around.
Really?
I don't know. Jeremy Fudge turned me onto these things. Now these are a problem. Those cherry sours. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, not the highest protein. Yeah.
No, we keep them away from our players.
I would take financial advice from Jeremy. I don't know as far as although he has that he wears those V-neck and he's in pretty good shape, it seems. That makes me think of something. When you do a big thing like this Najee acquisition, do you have to rally the troops? Do y'all just sit there with a real healthy, huge NIL budget, or when something you need to get done, and I'm sure you started working on this thing a month or two ago with Najee or whoever you were going to sign, do you have to, while you're trying to identify who you're going to bring in, and I think there was tons of paperwork, do you also have to call your money guys and go, hey, we're going to have to get the money up a little bit to go get this?
That's why I love you, Matt. We just call you send a check, and it gets done.
I can't even afford the sours at Buc-ee's. Yeah.
With him, the biggest thing was the compliance stuff and working through.
Okay. I mean, you didn't get him for free, but you had to work through a lot of compliance. I can't believe I like that you're having some sours.
I can't bring them out, not try one.
I like that. Are you making progress? The one thing, TCU didn't shoot the ball very well the other day, and I think y'all did have something to do with that. Defensively, you start out in the zone, they hit you with some threes, then they hit you with some air balls, which unfortunately sometimes those lead to weird points, right? It's hard to kind of know how to block out on an air ball. What did you think of the defense for the most part? Were you pleased overall?
Yeah, the defense definitely had a good day. I know Coach Sanchez wasn't happy with it. He thought we scored enough points to win. So that's what you want. You want coaches that every time you score, you're upset. At the same time, hopefully our defense can continue to trend up, because we all know some nights the shots are falling, sometimes they're not. So I think and James' presence inside at the end of the day, that 7'7" wingspan is real, and that does affect shots.
What are those T-shirts? Wingspan matters. Doesn't actually have some of those. This Iowa State team. I just wanted, going into this game tonight. I mean, this is, and we're recording this, by the way, but we're going to run this on game day. I don't want people to think you were just eating sours right before tip-off. Yeah. Although I think that's good to eat a few sours. This Momchilovich is how we say it in Kaufman County. He's really 20 points a game. He's always been a good player. He's been with them for like 3-4 years, it seems like, but he's always been kind of a 3-point specialist. Man, this year he's on fire. And then you put that with Jefferson. They've had Lipsy for about 8 years now. This is you talked about having to get guys that none of them played a Big 12 game. They have people who've played, seem like 75 50 Big 12 games, right? And so that's the thing. They've had to integrate some new players, but they also have a lot of old experience. This is what you kind of want to be. And that's why they're number 3 in the country. What stands out about them, and then what are you going to have to do to pull the upset at home?
Well, I think first and foremost, you hit it on the head as far as they have experience. You got Lipsy, Milan, Jefferson. That's 3 of the best players in the nation, and they've played together. They've been together. They've been through the wars together. They know what TJ wants. TJ knows what they're going to deliver and do, and it's easy to put people around those 3. They've done a great job in bringing in guys that have embraced their roles and have been supportive. But at the end of the day, those big 3 together, as long as they've been together in that system, that's why they're number 3 in the nation. And I think we all agree with the transfer portal. I mean, the biggest thing you can do is retain your best players. And if you do that, it's such an advantage, because at the end of the day, it does take time to bake a cake. And no matter what you say, it takes a year together. You're better off than just getting together. And 2 years together, you're better off than just getting together. 3 years together. So this is in Lipsy, as you said, been there 8 years, it feels like, but he's a guy that family or one of his parents works at Iowa State, and he's done a great job in representing their program since he's been there, for sure.
That was one of the maddest I've ever seen you at like a conference tournament game, and y'all had not done something. I think you had not rebounded that night or something, and I wandered off into some question. And you kind of had to bark at me a little bit. I think you were like, "Show up! I'll show you what happens in practice." And I kind of liked it. I don't mind. I've been barked at a few times. But this is a game that you need the crowd. This is what this facility's for, and this is the students. And I know they're still, I guess, haven't come back from break, but you need. You need a strong in these next 2 games. I won't talk to you before the Houston game either, but still just focused on Iowa State right now. I mean, you need this to be a raucous environment, don't you?
Well, every game needs to be a raucous environment, because there are no easy opponents in the Big 12, and protecting your home court is so important and paramount if you want to be successful. We've been so blessed to have great fan support from the community. Obviously, students bring a special energy. They're not here. Everybody else has got to pick it up.
All right. The media will be there. They'll be in their place, but they can't. They're not allowed to really participate in any of that stuff. But Scott, thank you. Always look forward to our conversations, and this is going to be, I mean, these are tough games, but as you said, they're also huge opportunities. So I hear people say you just need to win one of these next two. How about you win two of them? I mean, I haven't heard anybody bring up that scenario. So I would like to put that out there.
I appreciate you, Matt. And you know what? I like your scenario.
There it is. Scott Drew on the Matt Mosley Show, Rogue Media Network. And thank you for being with this show. And the game is tonight. Watch it on Peacock. We'll see you tomorrow.